Welcome back to Christy TV. Hausa group finally petitioned ICC to investigate alleged ethnic cleansing by armed Fulani militias in the northern part of Nigeria. According to the news, the Hausa Native Advancement and Development Initiative has submitted a petition to the International Criminal Court (ICC) alleging grave violations of international law against the Hausa ethnic group in northern Nigeria. The petition claims that armed Fulani militias have carried out coordinated attacks on Hausa towns and villages, resulting in indiscriminate killings, mass rapes, abductions, and enforced displacements of civilian populations. The group accuses the Nigerian state of complicity and failure to protect its citizens and urged the ICC to open a preliminary examination into the situation. The petition reads, "Open letter to the International Criminal Court, the plight of the Hausa ethnic group. To the esteemed members of the International Criminal Court, subject urgent appeal regarding grave violations of international law against the Hausa ethnic group in northern Nigeria. To the Honorable Prosecutor and esteemed officials of the International Criminal Court, we representatives of the Hausa Native Advancement and Development Initiative, acting on behalf of the victims and survivors within the Hausa communities across northern Nigeria, respectfully submit this petition invoking the jurisdiction of the court under the Rome Statute, particularly Articles 5, 6, and 7, regarding acts constituting crimes against humanity and potentially genocide. It is with profound sorrow, yet with unyielding resolve, that we bring to your attention the systematic, large-scale atrocities perpetrated against the Hausa ethnic group. Atrocities which, in our considered view, fulfill the definitional thresholds established under international criminal law. 1. Constitutive element of crimes against humanity and ethnic cleansing. As defined under Article 7 of the Rome Statute, crimes against humanity include murder, extermination, deportation or forcible transfer of population, persecution against any identifiable group or collectivity on political, racial, national, ethnic, cultural, religious, or gender grounds. The documented atrocities targeting the Hausa population satisfy this element through their widespread and organized nature. Over the past decade, and with intensifying frequency in recent years, numerous Hausa towns and villages have been the target of coordinated attacks by armed Fulani militias. These operations are not isolated incident of rural insecurity. They constitute a discernible pattern of deliberate ethnic targeting, indiscriminate killings, mass rapes, abductions, the razing of entire communities, and the enforced displacement of civilian populations. The destruction is often accompanied by statements and practices envisaging their intent to eliminate the Hausa presence in the region. In accordance with the General Recommendation XX11 of the UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, the forcible displacement of ethnic populations and the appropriation of their land and property must be recognized as a gross violation of the right to security and self-determination. 2. State complicity and the duty to prevent. The complicity of state actors is evident not only through omission, but through active obstruction of justice. The Nigerian state has failed in its positive obligation under Article 2.1 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights to protect the right to life and security of its citizens. Without distinction, security forces have been reportedly withdrawn and military responses have been suspiciously absent in many areas affected by violence. Numerous reports suggest that elements within the security establishment have direct or indirect affiliations with the perpetrators. Furthermore, public figures including certain religious and political leaders from Fulani backgrounds have not only failed to condemn these atrocities but have in some cases rationalized or justified them in public discourse. This amounts to incitement to violence under Article 3C of the Genocide Convention, a crime in and of itself under international law. 3. Evidentiary threshold and judicial grounds, we submit that the threshold for the preliminary examination under Article 15 of the Rome Statute has been met. Our documentation includes, but it is not limited to, photographic and satellite evidence of destroyed communities and mass graves. Wow! Satellite evidence. I love this. Survivor testimonials collected under oath. Verified report from humanitarian agencies and local monitors. Names of implicated individuals in command positions within state and non-state structures. This court has jurisdiction rationi materiae, rationi temporis, and rationi loci over these crimes, and Nigeria as a state party to the Rome Statute has an obligation to cooperate fully in any investigation or prosecution initiated by Office of the Prosecutor. IV, which is for prayer for action. We respectfully urge the International Criminal Court to 1. Open a preliminary examination into the situation in northern Nigeria with particular attention to the targeting of the Hausa ethnic group. Secondly, examine the common responsibility of state actors, local elite, and religious influencers involved in the incitement, facilitation, or concealment of these crimes. Classify these acts under the legal definitions of crimes against humanity and consider the threshold of genocide as per Article 6 of the Rome Statute. Ensure that victims and survivors receive reparation as provided under Article 75 of the Rome Statute, including restitution, compensation, and guarantees of non-repetition. Call upon the Nigerian government to fulfill its international obligations under customary international law and the treaties to which it is party. And number 5 of all this, out of the things they said, or let's say the petition against these particular perpetrators in ICC, is that is in conclusion a call to uphold the promise of international justice. The ongoing ethnic cleansing of the Hausa people is a stain on the conscience of humanity. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights declares in its preamble that disregard the attempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind. This is our plea, that the conscience of the court be stirred to action. We stand as witnesses to a systematic attempt to raise an entire ethnic group in the name of all victims and in defense of the principles upon which this court was founded. We plead that you act now. Justice delayed is not only justice denied, it's simply complicity in ongoing crime. Respectfully submitted, Gambia, Hausa. My people, when I saw this particular news, I was like, what exactly is happening? So now the northern part of the country, the real owners of the north, the Hausas, have eventually petitioned on ICC to investigate this ethnic cleansing going on in the country. But wait a minute, will this ICC in Rome consider this petition? Will they do the needful? Will they come and do the needful in Nigeria? Knowing too well that although for decades there is ongoing ethnic cleansing going on in Nigeria. Remember that there is a reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa choose to demand for Biafra. The excessive killing was too much. Even under Buhari regime, Buhari mobilized Nigerian military to go and kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Egweke, in Ugweke, or what they call it, Ugwani, his homeland. So when they got there, they killed many Igbo youths. This particular war, this particular breaking of the law through invasion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house led to the death of his parents. Luckily, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped. Yet Buhari did not still leave this man. He still continued hurting him because of oil. So do you think, Hausa, my people, Hausa, my fellow Nigerians, do you people think that Rome will be of help? Do you know how many times Mazi Nnamdi Kanu petitioned Nigerian government because of ethnic cleansing? Do you know how many times? But guess what? There was no one out there to help our people. He began to preach, to expose this Fulani militia. He did not only expose it to protect only the Igbos, he exposed it to protect every part of the country. That these people are foreigners. They are coming in troops to take over our land. That since the Nigerian government doesn't want to protect the lands of the country, he vows to protect his own land instead of him to perish in protecting every part of the country. Because the country is too big. He chose to first protect his own land. Because these people he's trying to protect are looking for a way to kill him. Buhari, who tried to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to quench him from exposing the truth, failed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu later escaped and exposed all this Fulani militia's plan. Yet, when he exposed this, Nigerian government failed to grab something useful from all Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's exposition. Rather, they used them against him. And today, look at what we are suffering. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is that prophet that we failed as Nigeria to believe. Today, look at what is happening in Benue, Jos, Kwara, name it. Different parts of the country are already in siege under Fulani militia, genocide, plan, and war. So when I saw this particular news, I saw these people carrying placards saying, end the genocide as justice for Hausa, sub-Hausa, stop the killings, justice for Hausa, stop the killings, end insecurity across Hausa land. You see it? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was shot, people were like, bring him, let us kill him. It is now that some real Hausas have even come to realize that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was a savior, was a prophet who exposed all these things. That all the things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said concerning them is true. That today, if Hausas are celebrating, doing their normal celebration as Hausas, you can never see any political person in northern part of the country to join them. But if it happens that Fulanis are doing something, you will see almost all the politicians in the northern part of the country. They will join them to celebrate. And this person that made this position said, that proves what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. That they, the real owners of the land, are not even in government offices. They are silent. They are not known. But the people they accepted in their land have conquered them and still looking for a way to silence all of them. I don't know if you guys are getting something. The real Hausas are minority now in Nigeria, in their own land. So they deserve to cry out. Now the question now is, remember that there are reasons that pushed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to start demanding for freedom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was advocating for revolution. He was advocating for better Nigeria. But they did not listen to him when he was pleading, when he was shouting for Nigeria to be better. Bring constant electricity, lights, good roads, good road network, good things should come to Nigeria. But no, guess what? This government failed for years that he has been shouting for revolution. He discovered that these people are not willing to give Nigerians a better life. Rather, they choose to carry their children out of the country, throw them there where their children will have a better life. Whereas in a place they call home, it's like a bandit zone. I don't know if you guys are getting something. So he decided to agitate for the freedom of Biafran people. History cannot be cleared. No matter how hard you people try to paint to cover history, you cannot cover the history of Biafra. You cannot cover the history of Hausas. You cannot cover the history of Duduwas. That is fact. And if Nigeria should divide today, Hausas will have to face a lot for them to be able to reclaim their land. Because the Fulani militias have already conquered them. They've already seized them. They have already enslaved them. They've already engulfed them. I don't know if you guys are getting something. The Fulanis are now high in population more than the real owners of the land. In case you don't know. And these people are armed. I'm talking about armed. They are really armed. And they have mouth in the government. They have their people already placed in the government. And their people were once, heroes of Nigeria, although they have committed atrocities against some part of the country. People like Buhari, Erufai, Atiku, others, name them. Majority of them you don't know are Hausas. Majority of the governors in the northern part of the country today, we are saying today, are not the Hausas. They are Fulanis. You don't know why they call them Hausa Fulani. You never ask yourself, why did they now join Fulani? Previously, we don't have Fulani in Nigeria. Fulanis in Nigeria are all strangers, aliens, foreigners, people that just travel to other countries for greener pastures, like Buhari's parents, Atiku's parents, 85 parents. They are not from Nigeria. I don't know if you guys are getting something, but today they have occupied. Foreigners have ruled us in our country as a result of our greediness to welcome people in our land. Hausa people, you see what your actions have led you into? When you were bringing in them so that they will help you to fight against Biafrans, to maintain one Nigeria. You didn't see this coming. And today, last, Biafrans are still looking for a way to divide from this country called Nigeria and to have their peace. And they are still defending their land till tomorrow. They are still fighting against Nigerian government and Nigerian military in Biafra land till tomorrow. Yet, what is happening in the northern part of the country? Do you still have peace? The people you brought to your land to help you fight against your brothers have turned against you, and even also against that your brother, and even against the nation you are trying to protect, trying to swallow all of us together and conquer us and dwell in our land. Will the so-called ICC in Rome listen to your plea? Will they come to your own aid? I don't think so. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has called international communities for a very long time for intervention in the ongoing genocidal war and killings going on in Nigeria. And no one seems to listen to him or to come to their aid. Same way Simon Ekpa did. Same way other people have done. And guess what? Even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention till now. Even when the real truth has been exposed by IBB against the Igbos. Yet, they still held Mazi Nnamdi Kanu captives, still looking for a way to repatriate Mazi Simon Ekpa. As if repatriating him can easily end this genocidal war by Fulani militia. As if repatriating this man will put to an end the hardship, the excessive high cost of goods and services in the country. It won't stop the hardship in the country. It will make your naira to increase against dollar. You don't make the cost of goods and services to go back to its equilibrium. It will not. Rather, it will increase and worsen insecurity. As far as you are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hostage, Nigeria will never know any single peace. Nigeria will never know peace. You killed his parents. The blood of innocent Biafrans that Nigerian government, Nigerian militaries hunted will continue to hunt them always until they allow Biafrans to go. Biafran is a spirit. Do you know what it means for millions of people to lose their life in a cube orchestrated by individuals from the north and from the Yoruba lands? Do you know what it means? You killed because of power. You saw with your eye innocent bloods, millions, murdered within a twinkle of an eye. And you people failed to stop your mission. You still continue to execute your plan. And today, thousands of Biafrans are suffering because of your greediness to occupy power. When I read history, that is when I decided to say, no, people have to let us go. If you think that it is erased in Nigerian school, it is a lie. History still finds its way to Nigerian schools and universities. You can never erase history forever. So how some my fellow Nigerians? It is high time you rise to defend yourself, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. If you keep waiting for international community to intervene, you are automatically wasting your time. They are only after your natural resources. They don't care if Africans are killing themselves or not. They don't care. All they care about is our natural resources. Our oil, our leads, our gold, our mineral resources. That's what they are after. Look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. They want to kill Captain Ibrahim Traoré because of what? Mineral resources. US declared open invasion of Burkina Faso land. And Ibrahim Traoré declared that he is ready to defend their lands. Same way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu vows to protect his people. And he is saying, even in the absence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, they are still protecting the land. And Biafrans are still honoring sit at home on Mondays. If you want all these things to stop, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and conduct referendum for these people to go. Hausa people, rise up and reproclaim your land. It is very vital. If you keep waiting for international community to help you to end this genocide war, you are wasting your time. Before they will come, all of you might have been died. All of you might have been killed by this Fulani militia. Wake up, my countrymen. Defend your land. Take back what rightfully belongs to you. Chase away these perpetrators, these bandits away from you. And I want you to know that among righteous ones, there is a sinner. There is someone amongst you people who will eventually leak your secrets to these bandits. And eventually they might come to enslave and kill all of you. So be careful in whatever you are doing. I wish you all the best. Hausas today are feeling the heat of what they did against the Igbos. You see, you cannot fight the Igbos and scot-free. You cannot kill millions of people and scot-free. The people that helped you to fight against your brothers are now hunting you heavily. They still come to our land to hunt us. We defended our land. What is your opinion?